right now?
I have Michael Kroll is appearing to my right, and then Curtis Dell is on the Zoom right now. He's appearing via video as well.
Okay. Let's, because we have a bond violation on Mr. Kroll, let's deal with Mr. Dell's case first. So, calling keep the case of the People State of Michigan versus Curtis Dell, file 210445 ST. Counsel, identify yourselves for the record.
Yeah, do so on behalf of the people.
Peter Durant's on behalf of Curtis Dell, who is appearing via video today, Your Honor.
All right, today's time and date set for settlement conference. Has there been an agreement reached in this matter?
I believe so, Your Honor. There was an offer to plead to driving while license suspended first and visibly impaired by the people, and we would like to accept that offer at this time.
Okay, let's do so. Is that the offer?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, may I address your client, Mr. Durant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dell, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your attorney has negotiated counts 3 and 4, which is reducing the driving license suspended second down to a first and the OWI down to an impaired. His recommendation is that you accept that offer. Are you planning on following your attorney's advice?
Yes.
Okay. If you could please raise your right hand and I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down now. Has anyone promised you anything more than what we've talked about on the record or threatened you in any way to get you to plead to these 2 charges when you really do not want to?
No.
Are you right now under the influence of any medicine, drugs, or alcohol that's confusing you?
No.
If you enter this plea, you'll be waiving some valuable rights. Those rights are the right to a trial. You could enter a trial by jury, or if you, Mr. Durant, and Ms. Dusso agreed, I could listen to this case as a bench trial. You'll be waiving the right to represent yourself. Mr. Durant, are you retained or appointed?
Appointed, Your Honor.
You would waive the right to hire your own attorney. Mr. Durant will be your court-appointed attorney. You'll be waiving the right to remain silent, not have your silence used against you, the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt, and the right to confront your accusers, call witnesses, and testify. Do you understand each of these rights?
Yes.
You would have to waive these rights in order for me to accept your plea. Do you waive these rights?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pull up a copy of the document. What I want to show you is the document currently as it's in place, because I'm going to be talking about some added counts, and I want you to understand what I'm talking about. So, as you can see, the charging document that should show up on your computer screen now. Do you see it?
Yes.
Currently, these are charges that you're not planning on pleading to. So in order for me to get the right accounts, we're going to add a count 3, which is going to be the driving while license suspended first offense. So count 1 will be dismissed, and then count 4 will be operating while visibly impaired as opposed to count 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not there, but I'm going to pretend that they are. So how do you plead to added count 3 of driving while license suspended? Do you plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty.
How do you plead to an added count 4 of operating while visibly impaired? Do you plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty.
On or about April 9th of this year, were you operating a motor vehicle on Rockwell Drive in the city and county of Midland?
Yes.
Had you been consuming alcoholic beverages prior to driving that day?
Yes.
Mr. Drance, may I take judicial notice of the the breath test results of 0.12, part of my analysis?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Dusso, do you agree I could use those as part of my analysis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And on that day, sir, was your license suspended?
Yes.
Okay. Have I then complied with the court rule and had an adequate factual basis, Mr. Durance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree, Ms. Dusso?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I find that the plea has been made knowingly, understandingly, voluntarily, and accurately. Will enter in records of the courts as counts 3 and 4. Count 3 will be driving license suspended first offense. Count 4 will be operating while visibly impaired. Counts 1 and 2 will be dismissed pursuant to the plea offer. Let's take a look and see how your client has done on pretrial services. Looks as if Mr. Drance, your client, is attending Victory Clinic for therapy and methadone and does some screens. They're not totally random, so he was referred to J&A, and he's compliant so far. So what I'm going to do is set this over for a pre-sentence investigation and get recommendations. Do we have a sentencing date and time, please, Katrina?
Yes, Your Honor, that will be August 16th at 11 a.m.
I'm sorry, you cut out on the day.
August 16th, Your Honor, at 11 a.m.
August 16th at 11 a.m. All right, sir, if you would please show up for sentencing on that day. We'll have that be live in person, so you'll show up to the courthouse.
Okay, what time was that?
At 11 a.m., August 16th at 11 a.m.
Okay.
All right, bond will be continued. We'll be adjourned on this case at this time. You're all set to go for today, Mr. Dell. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're calling a case of the People State of Michigan versus Michael Vincent Kroll, file 210420 SM. Counsel, identify yourself for the record.
Thank you, Patrick Swinsky for the people.
Peter Durant's on behalf of Michael Kroll, who is standing to my left, Your Honor. We are appearing via Zoom.
All right. Today is the time and date set for both a settlement conference and a concern about bond violation. So, Mr. Durant, have you talked with your client about how he wishes to proceed with this case, as far as the case is what, and additionally as well as the bond violation?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the case for the settlement portion of today, we would still be requesting to move forward with a jury trial. And then as for the bond violation, we'd be requesting a hearing. We did have a motion date set up for a motion to modify bond prior to this being scheduled. With the court.
Use that date.
Yep, I was just going to ask that, Your Honor.
All right. Katrina, do we have the date set for Mr. Kroll so you can remind me of that?
Yes, Your Honor, let me look really quick.
I think it was about it was probably about 3 weeks out, because I think we set 28 days.
I believe end of July, Your Honor.
July 26th at 3:45.
All right, that will be in person, July 26th at 3:45.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be adjourned on that date. The bond is not modified at this point in time, so Mr. Kroll may have more incidences that he may have to answer for bond violation, but we'll deal with it on July 26th. All right,
Understood.
We'll be adjourned. Thank
Your Honor,
you.
do you want me to give you the jury trial date now, or would you like that at the hearing?
At the hearing date.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Branson, for appearing, and thank you, Mr. Swinsky and Mr. Durant.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you for allowing me to appear a little bit after my scheduled time.
Absolutely. Glad to see you arrive safely. All right,
Well, have a
we're
good
all
day.
adjourned for the morning.